Hello, internets, and welcome to another Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Wi-Fi battle. You can call me 12-Pack, and the battle I have for you today is against somebody who goes by the name of Ramdog. Now, a little bit of history behind this battle before we get started. I was browsing the Wi-Fi passerbys, as I do to find a potential battle partner, and I saw this guy requesting a UU battle. So I was like, fuck it, close enough. So I challenged him to battle with my almost purely NU team. And this was the result. So let's hop right into team preview here. My team, I'm using a Choice Specs Miss Magius. This thing is very powerful in addition to carrying Trick as well to sort of cripple any sort of wall I may run into that resists my attacks. And next up we got my physically defensive Torkoal. This thing does its job extremely well. Got that Stealth Rock, Rapid Spin, Will-O-Wisp, and Yawn going on him, as well as the Rocky Helmet. And then next up we got my Choice Scarf, Xatu, and this is also a trick set, but I mainly have Xatu here to block my opponent's hazards and status ailments, yada yada. Next up we got my Choice, or sorry, I wanted to say Choice again, but no, this is an Assault Vest Seismitoad, actually. So this would be a physical Seismitoad set complete with Drain Punch to give myself some sustain. I think I have Power Up Punch on it, not 100% sure. Earthquake, and my last attack is Knock Off, I believe. I don't think I'm carrying any water type moves. And this would be max HP, max attack as well, I believe. Oh, and also carrying Water Absorb, which is an excellent ability and one of my favorites overall. So next up we got my utility Vivani. If you've watched any of my other recent vids, you've probably seen this along with Torkoal. It basically just exists here to heal things with Heal Bell and use Knock Off and Sticky Web. And then I give myself a bit of sustain with that Synthesis. And then last up on the team, we got a poke I've never used before, and that is Durant. Now, I actually really like Durant after playing this game. He's actually pretty darn underrated. This is a hustle set with Hone Claws to patch up that accuracy, and even after one Hone Claws, you become stupidly powerful, and Durant is naturally very fast, so you have a very low maintenance setup sweeper that will just wreck shop if given the chance. So my opponent's team here, oh, okay, well, this is pretty much as UU of a team you can get. There's all the staples of UU on this team, starting off with an Infernape, which probably wouldn't be too troublesome to this team of mine during this game, or at least so I thought. And then next up we got Porygon 2. Knocking that off is going to be a big priority because obviously it'll be carrying Evolite. Next up we got Umbreon. No one likes Umbreon, let's be real here. It's just super annoying and kind of a douchey Pokemon to use. And next up we got Flygon. Flygon's actually pretty cool. I can respect the Flygon. Props for using him. And then Kingdra, which is everywhere these days because people are all figuring out the Sniper, Focus Energy, Razor Claw set with Draco Meteor, and just love using that non-stop. So I was kind of guessing that that's what this would be going into the game. And then to round off his team, he's got the ever so popular Tentacruel, who is basically here to Rapid Spin, no doubt. So without further ado here, let's get going into this match.
Ramdog is issuing a challenge.
So, I'm going to lead off with my Miss Magius here, predicting him to want to maybe lead with Tentacruel, as sure enough he actually does. So, I'm going to go straight ahead for the trick here, because I really don't have a reason not to. And I'm going to obtain the Black Sludge, which isn't entirely great. I probably should have seen that coming, but at least he's stuck with the Choice Specs now. And he actually went for the knockoff and got rid of my Black Sludge, so that's perfect. Now, I no longer have to worry about taking damage every turn from it. And I'm going to go right out into my Leavanny here to absorb this knockoff. And he'll take off my Focus Sash, and since he is Choice Specs into knockoff, he's going to withdraw 2 and go straight out into his Infernape, which is not a good matchup for my Leavanny. But I'm going to take the turn to set up my sticky webs here on his switch, and his Tentacruel is the only thing that can get rid of them, and it's stuck with choice specs right now. So I'm going to go out into my Torkoal here, which is a perfect counter to Infernape since I resist his main stab, and fighting type attacks will have to make contact, so he will take damage from Rocky Helmet, as he does right there as he goes for the Fire Punch. So now he's going to go straight for a U-turn here. I'm not sure why he did that instead of hard switching, because he should have realized that I resisted it, and he took some unnecessary Rocky Helmet damage there, and I see as well that he is Life Orbed. So it's already at half health, and I haven't even attacked it once. It's excellent, and he's going to go straight out into his Flygon, which is not good for my Torkoal. But I kind of predicted that to happen, so I went for the Yawn, hoping to force that Flygon to switch out, and sure enough, he does. Here, I could have gone for another Yawn, but I believe that I wanted to set up my Stealth Rocks, predicting him to want to swap out. And sure enough, here come the rocks, and unfortunately now I'm matched up against this Kingdra, which is going to get a free turn to set up, as he knows that I'm not really going to have anything to touch him, or do I, as I stay in, surprising him and going for the Yawn, and effectively giving this Kingdra one turn in the field before he falls asleep. So I'm going to go back out into my Leavanny here to hopefully soak up the Hydro Pump, which sure enough he does go for. And I take that rather well, all things considered, especially since it was a critical hit. So he falls asleep now, and I am free to basically go for a knockoff or heal myself up here as he withdraws with Kingdra, goes out into his Umbreon here, loses one stage of speed, takes some rocks damage, and I'm free to go for the knockoff on Umbreon, which is pretty nice. I'll get rid of those leftovers that he surely has, get a crit out of it too, which did not matter whatsoever, but it's always nice. So this turn I'll go for the Synthesis here, knowing this thing can't really touch me, or at least I'm expecting it can't. And he's going to be one of those freaking annoying curse set Umbreons, which are pretty tedious to deal with, but I happen to have another ace up my sleeve to deal with this annoying thing, so I will go out into my Xatu here, and he's going to go straight for the Wish, wanting to heal himself back up to full health should I attack him with anything, and this turn I'm going to completely screw Umbreon over and give him a Choice Scarf, which will make him effectively useless, as this turn he did go for another Curse, but he's not going to be able to go for any more Curses or Wishes after this. So now, I am probably not going to outspeed since I did give him the Choice Scarf. However, he is going to withdraw, realizing he doesn't really have anything to touch me, and go back out into Tentacruel here, who's going to take some rocks damage, and this turn I had gone for U-turn, hoping to get a super effective hit on the Umbreon as I swap out. And now I get a free switch into the Tentacruel here, and that's going to be my Torkoal yet again, predicting that Rapid Spin to come in. And, or did I? Okay, never mind. I guess I sent it in and then double switched him, predicting the Scald or something. And yes, sure enough, here comes the Scald, and it's going to hit my Miss Magius here, get a crit, and take me out. No, I would not have lived that even without the crit, because he does have choice specs at the moment. So now that he's locked into Scald, I'm free to go out into my Toad here, and he can't touch me thanks to my Water Absorb, so I'm free to go for a Power-Up Punch against the Tentacruel, boosting my attack up to +1 here. And he obviously has to withdraw since he cannot touch me, and I will just set up for days if he stays in. Goes out into Porygon 2, and I am free to, I believe, land another Power Punch here, getting my attack up to +2 after all these hazard nonsense goes away. And he traces my Water Absorb, which could have been interesting, but okay, I didn't actually go for Power Punch. I went for the knockoff, predicting the switch. So there goes Porygon's Evolite, and this turn I'm free to go for the Power-Up Punch, doing a large sum to it, and getting my attack up to +2. And this turn he goes for the Ice Beam, kind of a bad choice of move on his part, that's not going to hurt me whatsoever. And I'm just going to fire back with another Power-Up Punch, bringing this thing almost to the point of death. It probably has like 10 health left. And he goes for another Ice Beam here, chipping me down very slowly, and I go for another Power Punch, so I got up to +4, off his Tentacruel and this Porygon. So at the moment, Seismitoad is looking pretty dangerous to the remainder of his team. So Tentacruel is going to come in again. It does have choice specs. So if he's carrying Sludge Bomb or something, it'll probably hurt me a fair amount. But no, he's actually going to go for Toxic and opt to put a timer on my stay in the field here. But I'm carrying Earthquake, so I'm just going to annihilate Tentacruel with one shot here. It really had no chance. Even if I was unboosted, I probably still would have killed it, since they're usually specially defensive. So I take my first round of poison damage here. Now he's going to send out Mars, the Umbreon. Yet again, this thing can't really do anything to me that I know of, since I'm already poisoned. So I'm just going to go straight ahead, fire a Drain Punch at it, and that is a definitely dead Umbreon, getting completely one-shotted by my Seismitoad. So now that it's gone, I'm back at full health from draining all of its HP. Take a little bit of poison damage, not anything to worry about really though. And Flygon's going to come in, avoid the sticky web thanks to him having Levitate, but the rocks will do a little bit of chip to him. And he goes straight for the Earthquake, which I'm going to eat up barely at 40 HP, go for the knockoff, and one-shot Flygon as well. Seismitoad just completely devastating my opponent's team at the moment. So I'm down to 1 HP from the poison damage, and Infernape comes in, and obviously it's going to outspeed me, so Toad really has to kind of go down with the ship here for the greater glory of the team as the rocks chip in. And however, realizing I had the game pretty much in hand, I'm going to withdraw with Toad because he did too good to let him die that easily. And I'll go out into Mount St. Helens just for the hell of it, and he goes straight for the U-turn. Not a bad choice of move on his part, because that would have finished off the Toad had I stayed in. However, now he's going to take some helmet damage from the Torkoal, and he can't come in again, or else the Stealth Rocks are going to kill him. So now he goes out into his Kingdra, which is still asleep. And this thing, should it wake up, actually could be a bit of a problem to my team if I don't handle it correctly right away. So I'm going to go out into my Durant here and hopefully set up a Hone Claws while this thing is still snoozing away there on the other end of the field. And I must say, Shiny Durant looks super badass. You can't really see it from this angle, but his eyes turn green instead of whatever they are, normally red, I guess. So he wakes up, goes for the Focus Energy, which is a pretty smart idea on his part. That's really his only chance if he manages to crit the rest of my team. So I'm going to go straight for the Iron Head, do a large sum considering it is resisted, and he fires off with the Draco Meteor, which I do actually happen to resist, so that's not going to do too much to me, knocking me down to, holy shit, obviously it's a critical hit thanks to Focus Energy. But I'm carrying the Sash because Durant actually is pretty frail in terms of hit points. He's got good D, but no HP to back that up. So I'll finish him with the Iron Head. That is dead. Kingdra. Infernape can no longer re-enter the field without dying from chip damage, thanks to Torkoal doing some damage with that helmet. And that is going to be the game for me as soon as all this hazard nonsense is concluded. And that is GG. So that is the 5-0 victory for me, I want to say. Actually, yeah, if that was definitely a 5-0. I only lost Miss Magius. Now, a little bit of a funny story upon the conclusion of this game. Me and this dude had a little bit of a chat in the greetings box, I guess you'd call it, in the, or no, the shout-out box, I guess you'd call it, after the game. He immediately said, "Best game ever," all in caps, and I thought he was being sarcastic because I kind of wrecked him, right? But he's like, this was the most unique team I've ever played. It was a blast. Great game, man. You deserve to win. And I was like, wow, someone actually gave me a compliment upon me, like, beating them in a match. So basically, I was just like, well, it's just another day in the office, son. But no, I'm not being serious. I actually complimented him as well, and just basically gave him a couple tips on how to step up his game. And the main tip that I can say for all of you who use a similar team or similar Pokemon is, don't be so predictable, man. Like, you're using a team that pretty much every UU team has at least one member of, and They all run the same thing 9 times out of 10. You've got to be that 1 time out of 10 that doesn't run the same thing if you want to be able to win with Pokemon that are used constantly. Because I know the sets that you're going to be running, even if you don't know that I know. And as for my own, like, really obscure and random team, you don't know what they're going to be running. I had different sets from the norm on everything except my Durant, which actually is the Smogon set. But you don't see Durant enough to probably know what it's going to do anyway, so that's the beauty of NU, the surprise factor. So thanks so much for the game, Ramdog. I hope that you come across this sometime on YouTube. I did actually tell him I had a YouTube account and that I'd upload this game at some point, so hopefully he shows up eventually here. And for the rest of you, I hope you very much enjoyed the game. And with that, I'll see you next time. Bye for now.